with the, how much is the Koch brothers putting in to buy Congress, 400 million?
At least.
How much is that going from the Democrats? I mean, like, that's what it comes down to, right? Until they
Negligible amounts. Negligible amounts. Here's what I would share with all of you. The Koch brothers are up to no good. They're a menace. They're about as unpatriotic as billionaires can be, in my view. But they are virtually uncontested in Congress. ExxonMobil and the rest of the fossil fuel industry is with them on this. You will hear Exxon say, their CEO, we know climate change is real, we know our product is causing it, we support a price on carbon. That's not factual. They do not support a price on carbon in any meaningful way. All of their political and lobbying and electioneering military, their artillery, is all still completely dedicated to stopping any climate action. And until that changes, I'm not going to care what the CEO says. Because the troops on the ground aren't listening to that. Either they know it's hogwash or I can't explain it. So, but they're not that big compared to Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Salesforce, Bank of America, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Coke, Pepsi, Ford, GM. You know, there's a huge number of American companies that take climate change seriously, that don't deny any of it, that want us to stay in Paris, that have supported, that, you know, we're still in. They don't show up in Congress.
When you say
they don't show up.
You mean with checks? I mean, is that, I mean...
They don't lobby for it. They don't lobby for it.
I mean, the corporation shouldn't matter, right? Like, that's a big problem. That's the cancer on the...
If you are a Republican, corporations matter. To us, less so. If you're a Republican, you're looking at this issue, you are looking at a fossil fuel industry that is on the field with, like, a Soviet May Day parade of political weaponry. And you're looking at the rest of corporate America 100 times as big, or 10 times as big, or 50, whatever the number is, but way bigger, and there's just nobody there. It's just crickets. So that is changing. And I've been on their case, raising hell about them and pointing out publicly that they say one thing to the public and they say something else in Congress, and that's not right. A great American corporation ought to be able to align its politics with its policy. So I think that's shifting. I think there's a move underway. I know some things that I'm not at liberty to disclose, where I think they're actually ramping up, putting the throttle forward, and you could have a situation in which the House puts out a bipartisan climate bill, the 2020 electorate is fed up and isn't going to take it any longer, and the Republicans realize it, so they know they've got to do something. Corporate pressure for the first time is being put on the Republicans to do a darn bill. We're not going to support you guys anymore unless you do a bill. Cut it out. We're bigger than the Koch brothers. Stop doing what they say. That's not that hard. You put those three things together, and we're legislating again.
So is there an effective way that citizens can apply pressure to corporate America? What would be the best way to do that?
There's a group called CERES, C-E-R-E-S, that organizes corporations. Showing its support would be good. Frankly, getting onto your, however you communicate, social media, and just saying, hey, I was with Senator Whitehouse, and he said that the big American corporations aren't really doing anything in Congress on climate change. What's up with that? Why aren't they doing that? Put some pressure on them. They've done nothing in Congress because nobody noticed. Nobody called them out on it. So we're calling them out on it, and I think that's going to change their behavior. Companies like Coke and Pepsi are very customer sensitive. And if they think they're going to lose customers because they say one thing about climate change, but in Congress, they don't put their money where their mouth is, that's not a good look for them. But if nobody's looking, it doesn't matter, it's not a good look for them. So it helps spread the word. Yeah.
And it is companies like Coke and Pepsi that we should be going after, because we all, almost everybody here, has somebody that they know that either works at those companies
and most people buy the product. And if you get enough people that put that pressure on them,
Yeah.
then it will make things happen.
The consumer
More so,
companies
people-
are very-
Recently, people tried to say, I'm not going to buy from Amazon. There are so many companies under that Amazon umbrella that you can almost not buy products or make something happen
Yeah.
in your life without touching Amazon. So start at someplace that's manageable.
But even the Amazons and the Apples, who you really can't get out of your life, and the Googles, they're still very sensitive
True.
to their public reputations. And they work very hard to be green and to look green. And so they've got this little embarrassment off to the side, which is, when it comes to Congress, we actually don't care. And letting, raising that and saying, what is up with this? Why is it that Google and Microsoft and Apple and Facebook don't care about climate change when it comes to Congress, particularly when they're so good every place else? Even that message will be important to them. And they've got new allies in the financial community, because the financial community is looking at a potential real meltdown because of what Grover was showing about coastal property values, and another real meltdown from the companies who are basically lying about their assets and their reserves. And those financial risks are now being taken so seriously that the top financial regulator in the United Kingdom, the Bank of England, is warning, look out, guys, train wreck ahead. And although nobody from America did anything very serious at the most recent conference of the parties, the most recent COP, $32 trillion worth of investment got together and said, whoa, we got to put the brakes on this train. So they're moving on their own for their own fears, and if we can move the consumer products along with them, it'll be good.